For 6 months, the same old man slept outside Ruby's diner. Hundreds of people walked past him every day. Most pretended not to see him at all. But one cold November night, a group of bikers pulled up and noticed something that would change everything. Walter had appeared last winter. Nobody knew where he came from. He never caused trouble, never begged aggressively. Every morning he'd fold his blanket neatly. Every evening he'd return to the same spot. The people of Riverside had gotten used to seeing him there. He'd become invisible. What none of them noticed was that Walter was dying. His cough had gotten worse each week. His hands trembled constantly. The weight was falling off his thin frame. He'd stopped asking for help months ago. Walter had made peace with the fact that he would probably die on that sidewalk, alone and forgotten. On November 15th, 15 Harley-Davidsons rumbled into Ruby's parking lot around 10 p.m. The Iron Brotherhood had just finished a veterans fundraiser 2 towns over. They'd raised over $15,000 that day. Now they were hungry and looking for food before heading home. As the bikers walked toward the entrance, Marcus, the club president, nearly tripped over legs in the shadows. He knelt down. "Hey brother, you all right?" Walter looked up slowly, his eyes clouded. "I'm fine, son. Just resting." Marcus could hear the rattle in his chest with every breath. This man was sick. Really sick. That's when Marcus saw it. Pinned to Walter's torn jacket was a Purple Heart medal. Marcus's breath caught. Below it was a silver star. And beneath that, Vietnam campaign ribbons. This wasn't just some homeless man. This was a war hero. The Silver Star was the 3rd highest military decoration for valor in combat. This man had saved lives under fire. "Sir, where did you serve?" Marcus asked, his voice filled with respect. Walter's eyes focused briefly. "Vietnam. 1st Infantry Division. 67 to 69. 2 tours." His voice carried the weight of memories that never faded. Memories of brothers who never came home. Marcus called his brothers over. When he pointed to the medals, every face changed. 3 of them were veterans themselves. They knew exactly what those medals meant. They knew the price that had been paid. This man had earned those medals in the jungles of Vietnam, one of the bloodiest conflicts in American history. Marcus pulled out his phone and started making calls. First to the VA hospital. Then to Veteran Housing Services. Then to his contact who owned an apartment complex. Within 20 minutes, Marcus had made 8 phone calls. The wheels were in motion. The Iron Brotherhood didn't just talk about helping veterans. They acted. "Sir, we're not leaving you here tonight," Marcus said firmly. Walter shook his head weakly. "I don't need charity." Marcus wasn't buying it. "This isn't charity. This is brothers taking care of brothers. You took care of this country. Now let us take care of you." 2 bikers gently helped Walter to his feet. His legs nearly gave out. They settled Walter into the biggest booth. Marcus slid in next to him. "Ruby, this man is a decorated Vietnam veteran. He's been sleeping outside your diner for 6 months. Tonight that ends. Bring him everything. We're paying." Walter stared at the hot coffee like it was a miracle. He couldn't remember the last time he'd had a full hot meal. While Walter ate, the Brotherhood went to work. They made calls, sent messages, pulled strings. Word spread through the biker community like wildfire. By midnight, over 30 bikers had shown up at Ruby's diner. Some drove an hour just to be there. When a veteran needs help, you show up. No questions asked. Walter sat surrounded by 30 strangers treating him like family. These people didn't know his story or what had brought him to that sidewalk. But they cared. For the first time in years, someone actually cared whether he lived or died. The wall around his heart cracked. And then he cried. Deep, shaking sobs he'd been holding back for years. At 1:45 a.m., Marcus placed keys on the table. "One of our brothers owns an apartment building on 7th Street. You've got a 1-bedroom unit. Rent-free for 6 months, maybe longer. It's furnished. It's got heat and hot water. It's yours. No strings attached." But they weren't done. Sarah slid papers across the table. "You've got a doctor's appointment at the VA tomorrow at 2 p.m. Walter's hands trembled as he picked up the keys. "Why?" he whispered. "Why are you doing this? You don't even know me." Marcus put his hand on Walter's shoulder. "Sir, you fought for this country. You bled for people you'd never meet. And somehow you ended up forgotten. But you're not forgotten anymore. You're our brother now. And brothers don't leave brothers behind." 2 weeks later, Walter moved into his apartment. The Iron Brotherhood had furnished the entire place with donations. When Walter walked in, he stood in the doorway and cried again. The VA doctors discovered he had stage 2 lung cancer from Agent Orange exposure. If the bikers had found him a month later, he would have died on that sidewalk. Now he was getting treatment. The Iron Brotherhood made Walter family. They gave him an honorary vest. Every Sunday someone picked him up for breakfast. For holidays he had somewhere to go. People who cared. 6 months after that November night, Walter stood at the Veterans Memorial Day ceremony. Healthy. His eyes clear. His medals gleaming. And behind him stood 30 members of the Iron Brotherhood. His brothers. Ruby's Diner put up a plaque where Walter used to sleep. It reads, "Sometimes heroes need saving too." Walter lived 3 more years. 3 years of dignity and love. He passed away peacefully in his apartment with Marcus by his side. At his funeral, over 200 bikers showed up. Since then, the Iron Brotherhood has helped house over 200 homeless veterans. Walter's story reminds us that heroism isn't just what happens on battlefields. It's choosing to see people everyone else ignores. Those bikers didn't have to stop, but they did. And one forgotten hero got to live his final years with dignity. The next time you see someone invisible, remember Walter. Every person has a story. Every person matters. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to the Kindness Stories for more stories of hope and humanity. Hit that like button and share this video. Drop a comment about a time you witnessed unexpected kindness. Let's spread hope together, one story at a time. Until next time, remember, be the person who stops and looks closer.